Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the new Radiant Creamy Color Corrector by Nars. So most of us remember the Radiant Creamy Concealer by Nars from back in the day. This is a little bit different. It is not necessarily a concealer. It has kind of an orangish tint to it. If you are familiar with color correcting products, that is the tint that you're gonna see in it when you're trying to counteract blueness. So those, dark circles under the eyes. And you guys know me, I've got a little bit of the veins that peek through around my jawline on both of my cheeks. So that is what I use this for. It is designed to be used under concealer. So this is not supposed to be a standalone concealer. So what I decided to do today is take my normal Clinique, what is this called? Clinique Line Smoothing Concealer, which I did a review for you guys on this product. I'll pop that on the screen here so you can check it out. So I thought that what I would do is just go in with the color corrector. No, reverse that. What I thought I would do is just go in with the concealer alone under one eye and then combine the two as instructed by the Nars color corrector under the other eye and let you guys see the difference and decide whether or not you think these kinds of color correcting products are really necessary. So let's go in with both here under my left eye. First surprise about this product, if you remember the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, I expected the little doe foot. It is not. It is this tiny little brush with the product there loaded on it, and so you get a little bit of a different effect. Because we're going in with so much product in that under eye area, to blend it out really well, I am going to be using a sponge today. So here we go with my dark circles. I'm just going to kind of take this across the same way I do with a concealer, kind of pick up excess. I am also going to go ahead here. You can see I've got these little bluish veins that just kind of peek through, and then I'm gonna tap these out a little bit with my finger and then go in with the sponge. So I found it really effective at blurring out the blueness in my cheeks. Like, do you see that? You can still kind of see it there a little bit, but wearing a little bit of foundation over top of this, it just kind of, I feel like, is gonna make it so that even those medium coverage foundations are going to make it so that it looks more full coverage over those blue veins. Does that make sense? So I'm going to start by tapping out a little bit with my finger and then just go in and really blend it with the sponge. But you can see it really is taking away the blueness really well as compared to what I have going on over here. The question, of course, is would concealer alone do the same thing? So now that's blended out pretty well, I'm going to take the sponge and just get rid of some of that excess so I don't end up with any caking. And you can see where we stand here. So this is just what it looks like with the color corrector. Before I go in with the concealer over top of that, what I want to do is see what this eye looks like with only concealer. So that way you can see really the difference. What does the color corrector do versus what does the concealer do? So going in with my Clinique, this one is a doe foot applicator. The way I always do this is kind of staying close under the eye. I'm not big on like the big triangle of light idea when it comes to my concealer. And this I usually just pat out with a finger. And we'll go in and pick up some of that excess. Okay, so let's zoom you in just a little bit here. So what's interesting is I feel like the level of coverage is super comparable. I don't feel like I'm seeing that much blue coming through here with just the Clinique. And even just leaving the Nars alone on that side, I don't really see a massive amount of difference. Maybe a little bit right here. There's some blue coming through on this side that maybe that color corrector would have kind of prevented. But overall, it's not such a dramatic difference that I feel like the color corrector is truly necessary. So let's just see if we can amp this side up by going in over top of the color corrector with the concealer. So I'm going to use kind of the same technique that I did before, going in that bit of a triangle. And since we've already got the sponge here, I'm going to go ahead and just blend that out right with the sponge. Okay, so there we go. I'll zoom you back in here. So there we go, you guys. You saw me put on this side the Nars Radiant Color Corrector and the Clinique Concealer. This side only has the Clinique Concealer, and I don't know. Again, this tiny little spot here, maybe. But even if I just maybe went in with a little bit more concealer, let's try that. And patted that out. And that gets rid of it too. So I really don't see a dramatic enough difference between this side and this side to justify this Radiant Creamy Color Corrector. So again, quite honestly, I get more of a benefit out of the color corrector covering up my veins than I do those dark circles under my eyes. Another great thing that you can use this for, and I'll just take some of it off of my cheeks here, is if you're like me and you have that really thin skin on your eyelids, you can kind of tap that on before going in with like a primer or your first layer of eyeshadow to kind of conceal those bluish veins from popping through there. But overall, you guys, in terms of under eye concealer, I just don't see the point. Even if you needed a little bit more concealer like I did under this eye, so you go through your concealer faster, it's gonna be the same as buying both the color corrector and the concealer. Does that make sense? So for me, color correcting products in just like day-to-day makeup still don't make a lot of sense. They didn't make a lot of sense to me back in the day. They still really don't now. I like it for the veins in my face. I feel like I'm going to be able to get a lot more bang for my buck with medium coverage or light coverage foundations, especially during the summer when maybe I don't want something super heavy on my face, just to get more coverage and have a more even application over the thin skin on my face. But for under eye circles, just get yourself a good concealer and you're probably going to be good to go. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you in my next one.